and welcome to where zombies teach us to be as awesome as we can possibly be. Now today we are so lucky to have one of the most famous Australian authors ever in the whole entire history of the world joining us. She's written over 200 books, including like F to M and Hijabi Girl, and Not Just a Piece of Cake, being an author, and of course her most famous book is a hippopotamus on our roof eating cake, which was actually given to the children of Princess Mary of Denmark as a gift. What? I don't even know their names, but they've got the book. That's awesome. It's also being changed into a musical. Hippopotamus. I know, it's going to be really, really cool. She's got O-A-M after her name. She's an awesome, awesome, awesome person, and her name is Hazel Edwards. Let's try and get Hazel on the line. Hazel! Hazel! Hello, Hazel! Can you hear me, Hazel?
Yes, Adam? I'm here.
Awesome! Awesome! So, Hazel, I'm so glad you're safe, and thanks for joining us on... It's really good to see you, and it's really good to see that you're not a zombie just yet.
No, I must admit I wasn't too sure exactly what a zombie was, but authors should never refuse invitations to do new things, so that's why I'm here.
Well, look, it's awesome that you are here, and it's really cool because I love talking about zombies. I reckon zombies are like the best. And one of the cool things about an apocalypse is that it's not always the people who follow the crowd and do the same thing as everyone else who survive. Like, they become a brain buffet. So sometimes it's the people who take risks and get out there and take action who actually survive the apocalypse. You did research on zombies to survive the apocalypse. Have you had any exciting experiences doing research for your books?
Well, yes, I certainly have, and that's one of the best excuses for being a writer.
Yes.
Because you can go to interesting places, and it's not called holidays, it's called research. So I've been to Antarctica on an expedition. Actually was stuck in the polar ice for a number of weeks with 34 blokes and some other women, and a chopper crashed on top of us. That wasn't organised, but that was a fantastic experience in terms of going somewhere that was a completely different world, having to learn a new vocabulary.
Yep.
I don't think there are any zombies there, but it was a completely different world. I've also done other physical sort of adventures like trekking in Nepal and so on. And although I'm not really terrifically physically adventurous, I go to find out why other people do it. And that's why I'm finding out about zombies now, because I'm always intrigued by whatever intrigues other people.
Yeah, that is fantastic, really cool, and I'd love to go to Antarctica. Now, you've had so many different experiences, and you co-wrote 2 books with your son. So, did that involve any research or like physical risks or risky things in the research?
Yes, different sort of risk. I've co-written with other people, but the 2 books that I co-wrote with my son, Trevelyan Quest Edwards, he never used to like that name as a kid, but he thinks it's okay now. He was the original mind behind The Hippopotamus on the Roof Eating Cake when he was 4, but now he's very much adult. And he collects adventurous walks. So he cycled solo from Ireland to Istanbul and wrote a book about it. And more recently he walked the Appalachian Trail, which is the really challenging trail down the coast of America. 6 months, 2 pairs of boots. Now, I didn't do either of those, but I helped him co-write the story afterwards. And so, as a writer, you can sometimes travel in other worlds through the experiences that your co-writer has had too. So, I haven't co-written anything with a zombie.
Well, there's still time, you never know. Now, in terms of writing these other stories, sometimes taking a risk with writing means that you write something someone's never written before, or you write with an idea or the point of view that someone's really different to you. So someone might write about space but they've never been, or they've never murdered someone but they do a thriller. Have you ever had to write a book about someone that is totally different to you?
Oh yes, and I think that that's a reasonable challenge for a writer, and one that you should take on. Now pretty obviously I'm not male, but I've written stories where the characters have been male. I'm not aged 6, but I've written some where the characters have been 6. I think probably the most extreme cultural challenges where I've had to learn about the background and help co-write a story that was believable. One would be F2M, The Boy Within, which I co-wrote with Ryan Kennedy.
Okay.
Now, he has transitioned gender from female to male. That's what TM means, but our book is called F2M because it's like texting. I don't know if zombies text, but anyway.
Hashtag YOLO.
And more recently, I've done the Hijab Girl Junior Chapter book with Özge Alkan, who is a Muslim librarian who wears a hijab. I don't wear a hijab. But I'm able, and she has helped me with the cultural things that needed to be correct in that book, such as halal food and modest clothing. And the funny thing is that we invented a couple of things like a girls' Aussie rules football team with girls in hijabs, and that's happened since. We invented a hijabi Barbie doll, and that's happened since. So this is fiction predicting fact. So yes, indeed, writers do take risks, but the real value is you're taking the reader into another world, which I suppose is what zombies do too, another world for the length of that book and maybe beyond, and so that perhaps you see someone else's situation a little more tolerantly after you finish the book.
Yeah, which is fantastic, and that idea of doing things that then become something in reality, that happens in science fiction quite a bit, right?
There are some very imaginative writers in the field of science fiction because they are the ones who say, what if?
Yes.
And even if it knocks on my front door, people say, is there a hippopotamus on the roof eating cake? Now, the cake eating hippo is not science fantasy, but it's fantasy of a different time.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Hazel, thank you so much for joining us. So I've got one more question. In terms of taking risks and taking action, is it better to go after your dreams and take some action and risk, or is it better just sit back, wait for the success to come in?
Well, I think one definition of success is preparation meeting opportunity. So unless you've prepared something, unless you've done homework and I don't mean schoolwork, but found out about stuff, and you're writing from knowledge, well, you won't be able to take up the opportunities that arise. So I'm a great believer in deciding, well, I'm going to move in that general direction. And there might be a few detours along the way, but I'll get things prepared in that area and then eventually it will happen. But if you sit and wait and say, I would like to be rich and famous, it's not going to happen. Not even for a rich and